That's all the cardio we need today. Let's go get meal one. Okay. My meal one's probably my favorite. Bison and rice. Not been doing eggs this year. I felt like we were talking about it, and she's like, I think that the eggs make you bloated. And so I'm like, let me just try something different. I've been not eating any eggs, and I feel better. So that's one different thing that I've been doing since the Olympia. Is cutting out the eggs, and pretty much everything that I've been eating in terms of food sources is the same, but the portions are different. I'm like eating a lot more carbs. So,
Is it like less protein or more protein than you've been?
the protein's about the same. I mean, I'm eating like basically 6 meals a day. Today is actually a high day. We're doing legs at the gym today, so fully rested from yesterday, ready to crush a good leg day today. And like I said, it's a high carb day, so even on my like normal base diet, it's still more carbs than I'm ever used to, ever really. And my weight's staying steady, so that's good. The most anabolic thing in the world is food. So if you're not eating food, you're not gonna grow. You don't have enough rice. I don't like doing this. I like to be able to cook my own rice, but in a pinch, since I don't have enough rice made, I'm just gonna use the rest of this. On the money, well, almost. That's 450 grams. And then I weigh out the bison in ounces. Sometimes I do steak too, like beef. But I just like the bison. And I feel like when you're eating beef or like any red meat, it's a little harder to digest most of the time. So if you can get like ground beef versus steak, I feel like you're gonna digest it so much better. There, 7 ounces of protein. Most of my meals have 7 ounces. There's one meal I have a little more protein, but that's it. That's a good first meal right there.
How long have you been on this new diet?
What are we, under 11 weeks now? So I think I started somewhere around 15 weeks out. So
Did it take any time for like your body to get? It's the same food, but like it's different amounts.
well, I went on I went on a cruise at like 15 weeks out, which was a lot of fun, and I just kind of ate like 3 times a day, just whatever I wanted. Not like I didn't really splurge, but I just ate, and then when I was full, I stopped eating, and yeah. So like getting back on like the 5-6 meals a day after being out of it for a couple weeks or like a week or so, like yeah, it takes probably 7 days to a week to 2 weeks to like get consistent with eating those meals without feeling super full. But mainly, I would say it's mainly trying to get the water and the food in. That's what's hard for me. So like I can get the food in, but then I lack the water. Or I can get the water in, but then I really don't want to eat the food. So being able to get both the water and the food in takes a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's all my vitamins. I put it in a week-long thing, but like I have like three days for one day. So like I take the first two in the morning and then the third one in the evening, and it just makes it easy like that. It's got like fish oil, liver support. Both of those are from Evogen. Got the vitamins from Evogen. Got some extra vitamin D. Got some vitamin C. Then I have DIM and calcium D-glucarate. Glucarate? Something like that, yeah. What else do I have here? That's it. That's what those are. But I double up on the omegas and the liver support. And then of course probiotics every day too. So
Has your salt changed at all? Or is it relatively the same?
It's always a fine balance, you know. So, you know, when I'm training really hard, then I'm gonna probably need more sodium because I'm, you know, exerting more energy and I'm sweating more. So it's kind of like a balance, like day to day. Do I need a little bit more sodium? Do I need a little less? So I kind of just take it meal by meal. And right now I'm not really measuring it, but kind of going off taste. Like I can just kind of tell. Like for example, how many times like I've scooped out a cup of rice or however many grams of rice, I probably have a pretty good eye on like how much to scoop out, right? Or like how much is 7 ounces of protein. I have a pretty good kind of sense of that. Same thing as sodium now. I can kind of like have a good idea by just how it tastes with my meal and kind of like how I'm sprinkling on there. So, you know, I would say right now my sodium's pretty high as it should be, right? Because like it's gonna help with the pump. It's gonna help with like electrolyte balance and just like overall hydration. So you're gonna get better pumps and better performance in the gym. And then at the end, you can always pull out some of the sodium if you need to like dry up for the show. So now is not the time to reduce the sodium. So I think just like Nationals was just this past weekend, you know? And I was just thinking there's probably like a ton of competitors coming off the show that are just like totally bloated and holding so much water. You gotta be really careful with like how much water you're drinking versus how much sodium you're consuming and then how many carbohydrates that you're eating. Like those three things are what's gonna hold water. So you need to be hydrated, which means you need to be drinking water. You need to have a proper amount of sodium because you probably depleted some of your sodium going into the show. But my thought is everybody wants to eat. Everybody is hungry. Everybody's craving food. They want to eat carbs. However, unless you're coming in flat to the show, right? You're probably fully loaded on plenty of food. You probably don't need too many more carbs, even though you probably want to eat the sweets and those cravings. The best thing you could do is probably eat like a higher fat meal, like a burger and fries, and avoid carbs, especially sugars. And then really be careful with how much sodium you're eating too. And then just stay consistent with your water and stay consistent with your like moving, like doing your cardio, going back to the gym and having a good workout, getting a sweat going, maybe get in the sauna. But those three things, water, sodium, and carbs, are what is gonna make you hold water the most. So making sure that if you're eating a lot of carbs, you're not eating too much sodium. And if you're eating a lot of sodium, make sure you're drinking plenty of water so that way you're not just like storing, you know, your body doesn't wanna just store that water. So just be careful with those three things when you're especially coming off of a show. Now we just hang out until meal number 2. No, actually, I sent my updates to Coach. See what he has to say. Jelson said she. Yeah, my wife's coaching me. Jelson's coaching me. It's so I would have Jelson coach me, but I'm afraid that anytime like I upset her, she's gonna take away my food and make me do extra cardio. So I don't think it'll work out. You're even laughing. So that doesn't work out. That's the. But see what he has to say. He already gave me the game plan for the day. but it's always good to check in. I've been checking in like pretty much every day, which is cool. I like it. I like the check-ins every day, and or at least every other day. Just like it a little bit. I don't want to say it holds me accountable. I guess it does. I mean, I'm able to hold myself accountable, right? Like I don't need somebody like hovering over me telling me you got to do this today. It's like I think it's more or less just like the extra rounds of posing. I can even take a look at myself. We can track better like how things are going, and then also like the confidence knowing that your coach is being very tentative to you and your needs, and like really paying attention rather than okay, update me in 7 days or 10 days or 2 weeks. Like, I mean, could we? Yeah, probably, but I think where my body's at right now, it's a completely different starting place than I'm used to. Like, usually I'm taking a full off season, trying to grow and make these, big improvements, which of course we're making big improvements all the time, right? But taking like a full off season and then starting with like higher body fat, higher weight, and then bringing it down. This time, like since the Olympia, I've been within striking distance of doing another show. And as far as last year's Olympia, it wasn't a matter of like, oh, I didn't have the muscle, it was more like I just came in and didn't peak right. I was super flat, like so flat that it looked like I had lost muscle. Because you got to think, when you're hitting that peak and you're drying out, muscle is how much percent water? I don't even know.
70, isn't it?
It's a lot. Your muscle is filled with water basically. So if you're drying out and you're trying to get tighter and tighter and tighter, especially when you're ripped to the bones already, sometimes when you're trying to get that extra 5%, you could go backwards 20%. And that's what happened. It's just like, we tried to come in sharper and better. And then by doing so, you look less conditioned. You look like you have less muscle, and you look like you're, like softer and holding more water. When in reality, you might be dry as a bone. You might be, super conditioned or even potentially over conditioned, right? And just super flat. So that's the point of what I'm saying, is that I'm in a different starting point now, to where coming off of the Olympia, it was like filling up slowly, trying to keep that good conditioning while creating better balance within my body that I had prior to peaking for the show. And so once we brought my body parts back and brought that balance back, then I was able to start going to work these last couple weeks and making even more improvements going into the Arnold. So like I said, different starting point. I don't have a super high body fat percent. It's more of just like, that. Eating more food, doing less cardio, enjoying the process.
Loving bodybuilding again.
Make bodybuilding great again, brother. This makes life so much easier, man. I used to cook every single meal every day. And then I got to where I would prep for the week, and then my food didn't, like the way I cooked it, it would be dry by the end of the week. So then I was like, all right, now I have to cook for every 3 days. And even then, it's just like, I spent so much time just in the kitchen cooking, and I could have been doing something else.
You could have been relaxing and
anything besides getting my meals together. So this makes it so much easier. Plus, when I travel, I just take these, and I'll take some frozen ones, and then I take some that are thawed. So like the ones that are thawed, I eat that day, and then the ones that are frozen will be thawed by the time I get to where I'm going. Oh. I do like to make my own rice though. It's just nice to have fresh rice, But like off season, a lot of times I'll just like do the custom meals where I have the carbs and the protein together, or if I get their signature meals, then it has like rice or whatever in it too. But when I'm prepping, because like my portions change every day, like I said, today is a high day, so like if I would have got a custom meal, then maybe I would have had to add more rice anyway. So like I just make my own carbs, whether it's the potatoes or like the rice or whatever carbs I'm eating, I just cook them myself, and then just get the bulk protein. It's the easiest.
Yep.
I like to have a variety of proteins. So like you'll see today that like almost all my meals will have a different protein source.
Do you feel like that helps your digestion, or like?
Yeah, and each one has different nutrients too, right? And so, and also some proteins have more protein per ounce than another, and some will have more fat than another. So, typically, like like the first meal, first thing in the morning, I like to have a little bit more higher fats, and then as it gets closer to like training, I'll do like more like lower fat proteins. And then if I'm lucky, I'll get like another fat meal in the evening, which is nice.
Or maybe even a burger and fries.
You've been watching my Instagram, haven't you? Yeah. With Hani, we never really did burgers and fries. We just would add like more of whatever the foods I was eating. But it was nice. It made me feel a bit more like human, Especially if I'm going to be competing all year long like this, like doing the Arnold and whatever else throughout the year, Olympia. Having a burger and fries kind of nice,
Yep.
Because honestly, man, like after competing for 10 years, this is just my lifestyle now. So the first couple years I was competing, it was kind of hard for me to want to stick to a diet. It felt like, honestly, man, a lot of times I was kind of miserable. I really hated the dieting and stuff. Too much. I really hated the dieting, and it was like a massive learning curve for me. It took me several years to be able to be like have a good relationship with food and not like be thinking, oh man, I want to go eat that burger and fry or pizza or whatever cravings I had. I was always like, man, I was telling myself I can't have it, and I felt like I would never be able to have it again. If I ever wanted to stay in shape, I can never have my favorite foods. But fast forward now, I realize after so many years, no, it's like that food will always be there. And if I actually wanted to go eat something now, I could. I don't have to be on this diet. We don't have to compete, but we choose to. I want to do that. I like eating healthy as my lifestyle. It makes me feel better. I look better. I perform better. I'm just all around a better me because of the food I eat that's cleaner. And again, I'm human, so I want to go have nice, tasty food every once in a while. Be able to go on like dinner dates with my wife or some friends. But all in all, like I realize I'm choosing to eat like this because I want to, rather than, oh my gosh, I can't have those foods. I don't even want those foods. I want to come and I want to win this show, man. I'm gonna win. You gotta get the wings sauce, not the regular Red Hot. The Frank's Red Hot wing sauce. This is pro tip. It's got no calories, but it's got a ton of sodium. So I just don't salt my food, and I just put this on there. Look at that. Who doesn't want to have like buffalo chicken on their diet? You know what I mean? Once we get a little closer, we're going to have to really regulate the sodium. Like that's what you asked me earlier. So I'll end up throwing this out and I'll just, salt my food. But for now, this is meal number 2. Meal 2. Check this out. Need a little Jesus in your life, bro? You need a little Jesus? How about 2? Some friends gave that to us.
That's cool.
And then I went on Amazon and I'm like, I just purchased like 50 of them. So I'm gonna start handing them out. I'm gonna have them in my pocket like this. Like, hey, bro, you need a little Jesus in your life, man? They'd be like, what? I'd be like, come on, man, you need a little Jesus in your life? Everybody needs a little Jesus in their life. Here you go. Everybody needs a little Jesus.
Was it 450 again?
450 grams of rice. That's a good amount. Normally I've been eating like 300. So it's probably about 125 grams of carbs. It's a lot. Oh, whoop. Oops. I'm not supposed to have that much. It's supposed to be 400 this meal. Okay. Whoops. Okay. First meal was 450. This meal is 400. Okay. Didn't really seem like it was that much that I took out, did it? I probably could have ate it and been just fine, but hey, it's important to be coachable, right? It's a good thing I did a double check on that. Like, wait a minute. Let me just make sure. This does seem kind of like a lot. The first meal was 450. This one was 400.
So what's changed between like how much rice you were eating before versus what you have to consume now?
A high day would have been like 270 grams of rice per meal, and like a normal day would have been like 180 grams, which would have been like 50 to 75 grams of carbs, something like that. And then my normal baseline is 300 grams, which would be probably like 80 something, a little over 80 to 85 grams of carbs. So like that's like my normal, and that's 300. So today it's anywhere from 400 to 450 per meal grams of rice per meal. And then potatoes, same kind of calculation, would be like whatever I was eating before. It'll increase like that much percent wise, you know. And then post workout, I have like typically like one banana. Today I have two, which isn't like that significant, right? But overall, at the end of the day, even my baseline diet is like, I wouldn't say double the carbs, but close.
Is it like hard to? Are you like someone that like kind of struggles to eat all the food, or is it pretty easy?
No, I can eat, brother. Well, like you asked me earlier, like in the beginning, if I go into like an off season where I'm not trying to, feed myself around the clock, and I'm just trying to be kind of like a normal person trying to just give my digestive system a break. Then I try to eat like 3 or 4 meals a day and just kind of keep the protein low, keep everything kind of like moderate, kind of like I said, just like kind of like a normal person. But then when I start ramping my food back up and I try to, crank up my training, that's when it can be a little difficult at first. But no, I can put it down. If it's on the plan, it's going down. All right, meal 3, pre-workout meal. 8 ounces of cod, 400 grams of rice. If I'm truly honest, this is one meal that I don't look forward to eating. I get tired of eating the white fish. Sometimes I do shrimp, but this is what we got today, so this is the one meal I don't look forward to eating. But hey, this does help for sure. I like this one. The new sauce, pineapple mango. It's got like, it says no calories. So anyway, no calories. That should be enough to help. Add a little salt to it.
Shout out to my friend Maria.
How long between this and then actual training?
I'm going to eat this, and within about 10-15 minutes, we'll head to the gym. It takes about 30 minutes to get there, so about 45 minutes to an hour to let this digest.
Sweet potato.
That looks good. Give me some of that. Apple and sweet potatoes. You don't like it?
She wants to eat the rice and steak. Rice and steak.
Salt and pepper on everything. So today I'm training after meal 3. I prefer most of the time to train after like meal 2, but we have Chris Cormier, who is going to meet us at the gym today. Went and picked him up last night, and he's going to be down here training with me the next 3 days. So I know that we're going to be pushing it a little harder probably, and so getting 3 meals in would be better for my body going into training than just the 2 meals. But really, I like to get up and get 2 meals in and go to the gym. That's what I prefer to do, because by the time I get 3 meals in, I'm feeling a little bit more tired because it's later in the day. I'm, slightly less motivated, and I'm just like more anxious. Like when I wake up to go to the gym, because like it's like my first thing on my mind. Like, what am I going to train today? And like, when am I going to go train? When am I going to go train? And so when I have to wait for 3 meals, which is what, like 5-6 hours, I'm like, dang it, man. Like, I just want to go train already. But I have to do what's best for my physique, and that's eating 3 meals and then going. So
More food, bigger pumps, too.
Yep. More food, bigger pump.
What's in the shaker today?
Got a little pre-workout here before we train. It's my favorite one. Boom! Let's go! This is my favorite flavor, the Tangerine Blast. I don't know, the other 2 flavors are pretty good too, but this one takes the cake for me.
Blue is the personal favorite for me.
I know, a lot of people like the blue one.
If you had to pick a flavor for them to come out with, what would it be?
I'm a grape guy.
Me too.
I like grape.
Yep.
But also I kind of like the fact that these are kind of tart, like sour tart and sweet. It's more like tart and sour than sweet, but like that sweetness at the end is nice. I just don't know if grape would be a good choice for this.
Maybe if it was like a sour grape or like a sour
Or
candy
sour
or something.
apple.
Yeah.
Sour apple.
Like a
would be
green
really
apple.
good. Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah.
I like this because mainly it just tastes good, man. Truthfully, just because it tastes good, but I like it because it has all 3 of my pre-workout stack products in one. So it's got basically a scoop of the EVP Extreme, a scoop of the EVP 3D, and it's got the AQ in it. So my pre-workout that I've been taking for the past 4 years, all in one. So, which I still mix up the powders too, but this is just a little bit more convenient. And like I said, honestly, I just like the flavor. You know. Leg day, baby. Let's go. So we waited all day for. gotta love it, man. If you don't love to be in the gym and train hard consistently, it's not gonna last forever, man.
Are you nervous to train with?
No, man. To be honest, I'm excited to train with Chris because that's why I called him up. I'm like, man, I want an extra little push. I want to mainly like come to the gym and not think, because I come to the gym and I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do today? This workout, this exercise. It's nice to have a trainer so that way you don't have to think. But I also have trained with Chris a couple times at the Olympia Battle the last couple years. So obviously I believe that Chris knows what he's doing, and then I know he's going to give me that extra push too. So it's just like a win all around, and I think it's going to be good, man. So 3 solid days, boom, boom, boom. That's what I've been doing too, is 3 days on, 1 day off on my training. That's been like really working really well. So we're going to stick to that until we need to switch things up. But I would say that 3 or 4 days on, 1 day off is what it's going to be. Actually, sometimes I only do 2 days on, 1 day off if my recovery is not as good. Mm-hmm. But as my recovery gets better, I'm eating more food, then I can, sustain harder training more frequent, like more days in a row. But just waiting on him to get here. Legs.
You're gonna be a champion again.
Let's go. I told him that you want me to be Mr. O again, so here we are. We're putting in the work.
Yes, we are.
Hey, I have a call with Evogen right now. Can I call you back? Is that okay?
Sure you can.
All right. I love you.
I love you.
All right, so just got my post-workout meal in today. I get 2 bananas instead of 1, and 2 scoops of Isoject, which is about 50 grams of protein from Evogen Nutrition. And now we're gonna go home and get my next meal. I got 2 more meals tonight, and then we're gonna get some rest because this was a really good workout. And tomorrow we gotta show up and we gotta train hard again. So let's go get this next meal in, and then yeah. I'm actually not playing at all. Hold on. This is a sign of a good leg day right here. I am, man. Oh my gosh. This is the dangerous one right here. It's the shortest one, but it's the most dangerous.
You Gotta get him a chairlift, Chris. Set it on the side of that.
All right, let's get this meal in. This is probably my second favorite meal of the day right here. Love it. Ooh, with my favorite bowl. Shout out Target, right here. Not gonna lie, like every set, after the second set of leg extensions, just like warming up, I thought to myself, this is not gonna be a fun day. I was like, this is not gonna be fun. And then by the third set, after the third set, every set after that, I literally just wanted to quit before the last like 10 reps.
But hey, you did it.
Hey, you got better today. You gotta be a little crazy, man. You gotta love to be in the gym. You gotta love to want to train hard. Like I said, you gotta be a little crazy, a little psycho. Shout out Mega Fit Meals because I love the way they cook their salmon. It's so a lot of people don't like this word, but it's so moist. It's so moist and delicious. All right, 7 ounces. 7 ounces there. Pop that in the microwave. Got fresh rice. It's nice and hot. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make up my last meal of the night because this is my normal routine. I already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna eat this meal. I'm gonna go on the couch. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna wake up in about 2 to 3 hours and eat my last meal. And so you'll probably be asleep anyway. So we'll go ahead and film it because I know I just wake up in the middle of the night and eat this last meal. So. This is the most carbs I've ever eaten in one day. Like on a actual meal plan. So once again, meal 4, well, meal 5 if you count the post-workout meal. 7 ounces salmon, 400 grams of rice, and then meal 5 or whatever 6. My last meal will be 7 ounces chicken, 425 grams of potatoes cooked. And then today, we're adding in 1 tablespoon olive oil. So this meal plan today is exactly what I'm gonna eat tomorrow on chest day. And then the day after that, no matter if I train back, arms, or whatever I decide to train that day, it goes back to my base diet. So for 2 days, this is what I'm eating, and then it goes back to my base diet, which is basically like 300 grams of rice per meal. The protein's the same, 300 grams of rice per meal, no olive oil in the last meal, and the potatoes will be like 350 instead of 425. I'm gonna pop those in the air fryer later. Just easier to make up my last meal because when I get up in the middle of the night, I'm so tired. I sometimes don't even want to eat the food. So I just kind of force it down. It's just better to have it ready. I've never been on a meal plan and didn't want to eat any of the food. It's been great though, honestly. Normally I'm just starving all the time. And there will be a time that I'm going to be very hungry. So I should appreciate this right now. But that day's not today. Alright, this will go back in the fridge. And then this. Let me get the fresh rice. Save that for later. Also, I think trying not to microwave your food any more than you have to is a good idea. So once I get like deeper in prep, I'm so hungry that I don't even care what I'm eating. So a lot of times I just eat my food cold. I don't even microwave anything. I just eat it cold. Chicken, even the cod, everything. Beef. Oh, another tip too. Put the old rice in with the fresh warm rice. There it is. Last 2 meals. Here we go. Salmon and rice, chicken, potatoes. I'll put the maybe I'll put the olive oil on now. I actually don't like olive oil. It's my least favorite. Most people like it. I think it tastes terrible.
I like macadamia nut oil.
Never tried
pretty
it.
good. It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do not like extra virgin olive oil, but let me double check to make sure that's what it was. My favorite is coconut oil.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
Yeah. Olive oil. 1 tablespoon, 15 ml. Good healthy fats though. I got this like super precision food scale. It weighs by the 0.0 grams. Yeah, 0.0 grams. So on the money, baby. There it is. We're gonna air fry these potatoes tonight. Probably warm up the chicken. But 7 ounces of salmon, 400 grams rice, 7 ounces chicken, 425 grams cooked yellow potato, and then a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Shout out Publix. No sponsorships. Free advertisement. All other codes, Derek below. Hey, let's go. I'll leave this for tomorrow. I have to go get more bananas though. Okay, that's it. Good night.